Well, I guess I got my bills covered for this month anyways. Only down one fucking rifle. And all the accessories. Well, hey, I got about half what the shit was worth, so. And that's honestly probably more than I expected him to fucking come up to. Well, I figured the drag bag's about 60 something, maybe more. Good drag bag. Bayonet, probably 25, 30. All the stripper clips I had there, shit. Damn, $100 or something now or more. The fucking cleaning kit, 25 more. Might even been two of them in there, don't remember. Fucking ammo that I had there on the stripper clips, and the fucking leather stripper clip case with the ammo in it, all that shit. It's probably another 100 and something. So just the accessories right there is probably 300. That's what I got for the accessories and the damn rifle. The rifle by itself ought to be worth 400 or more by now, if not 7. Well, I knew what I was walking into pretty much. It's about what I expected. Honestly, I thought they'd try to fuck me even worse than that. Walk into a pawn shop at the beginning or the end of the month without them seeing you coming, And they'll fuck you sideways anytime. Pretty much any day of the week, anyhow. Oh, man. I have my post office box on. Well, I got my dang power bill, and I pulled some Jedi mind trick shit last month when I was drunk dialed the fucking power company or something. Well, I figured out based on some fine print in the bill that because I had previously been on some kind of normalization thing to save money from on the winter bills, I normalized the bill to 85. But during the months when I'm not using the fucking heater, my actual bill would only be like $30 a month. So I had actually overpaid enough to where I still had an excess of money in there. And I figured this out even though they had it all fucking hidden and confusingly written down in there. So apparently I Jedi mind tricked when I was kind of drunk and fucking. Yeah. So last month I called up, I guess I was done with the conversation. I said, so what do I like? Just like nothing. It's not a cover, And then I got the bill come in the mail this month that says $0. I'm like, oh, okay. I wonder if it'd be. Well, if I can believe that, shit. $0 due on the 9th. Yeah. And I fucking so I'll pay towards the damn tires, and they automatically take the fucking storage fee for all my shit in storage. I got that covered and should have leftover. Then I was thinking about swinging over into a grocery store, but I thought, I wasn't sure if I wanted to try Safeway because I know it's overpriced. I swung in there at one point, and the damn parking lot's so full, like, I have to walk there from China. Or come in with a helicopter, see if there's any parking on the roof, and rappel down. End up going to a thrift store, walk around through there, seeing some other things I was interested in but don't really need. And I saw this bag. It's $5.99. It's a big bag with wheels on it and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. I might take that. Start pick it up and felt a little heavy, so I look inside. Another bag inside there. I was like, oh, right on. It's like a set. Take it up to the counter. Surprised the guy at the counter, too. He opened one bag after another. It's like fucking Kachina dolls in there. It's like big bag, smaller bag inside that, another one inside that, another one inside. Like, heck yeah, that'd come in handy for getting all my shit out of here whenever I get around to that. Aside from the furniture, like getting the shit out of here, shit wouldn't be that big of a task. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? If I'm paid up through an end of a month or somewhere into a beginning of a month, and I'm moving out to head to a motel or who knows where, for the time that I'm still here, I'd kind of like to have a bed to sleep on, and a table to set shit on, and so on and so forth, right? Like to be, have. I'd just as soon ditch the furniture, but they'd probably try to keep my fucking deposit. Like they couldn't just sell my furniture or list the apartment as furnished or some shit if I left the shit behind, damn well they would. They just fucking sell everything or leave it here and say it was furnished. Mm-hmm. And then they try to charge me or keep my fucking deposit, though. I've been around this world long enough to know how everyone tries to screw you about what to expect. Well, at least you didn't charge me a bunch of money to replace the fucking key that snapped off. So that's good. Last place did that. Key fucking snapped off. Well, I mean, the thing is, if you're living somewhere that isn't really a super safe place, not your own place, say you go out to take out the garbage in some instances, you might not feel like it's all that safe to even take the trash out without locking the door behind you. If you decide to walk off to the store or go to a grocery store or whatever the heck, you lock the door. If you're going kind of back and forth the number of times, and keys made out of soft, weak soft metal or something, there's only so many times you can lock and unlock a door with that shit before it snaps the fuck off in there. I don't know, man. I gotta try to find a motel in another town that's somewhere I could still do deliveries and make some money or whatever. maybe even another state. And of course, now I got the damn post office box for 6 months. That's like the minimum payment they'll let you make. If I'm 100 miles or 200 miles or 3 or 4 or 5 or 600 miles away, that's not really super helpful to me. I guess you walk into it. I guess from what I understand, though, this other dude told me I could walk into a post office wherever I'm at and tell them I want to get my mail forwarded general delivery. And maybe they'd contact the post office over there and do that. I don't know. Have to figure out the ins and outs of all that shit. I'm thinking of hitting the fucking road a little late in the year, but more likely to find a motel that'll give you a weekly rate, discount weekly rate or something as it gets colder because people aren't going out vacationing in the fucking winter time and shit generally. But still, it's still hard to find those though. And there's a lot of people that fucking can't afford it, either can't afford or can't get into a place to live. More likely they just can't get into a place to live. They can't get into a fucking apartment, so. I also got a credit card offer, says I'm pre-approved for a $2,000 credit card or whatever. I gotta look carefully at the fine print on that. See if they have a monthly fee or not. That if I don't use it for a month or something. If not, then I had to go for it. Maybe. As long as I don't fucking use it too often and make sure I pay it off every month. It could help build the damn credit score. Give me another line of credit. Get me up in the 700 something range. That'd give me a much better chance of getting, bigger loan, whatever. Well, if I could get a big enough loan, or like FHA or something somewhere, one of these cheaper southern states or something, to be able to get a fucking house or some land and have like a low payment of like fucking, $400 or $500 a month or something to pay it off. That's cheaper than rent. I could be paying off a fucking house that I would own, right? So that would be stupid not to try and do that. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's how most anyone has anything. It's all debt, making payments. But people that are fucking making lower payments than you are living in a fucking apartment have got more money left over to live high on the hog and shit. I'd just be trying to pay the shit off as quickly as I could, though. That I could own a home, some land somewhere. Only problem with the FHA loans and stuff like that, if you went that route, is that they want to send inspectors out to deem a place livable or something. You might not be able to find something that they would approve. Unless you get the loan in the first place so you could bribe the fucking inspector. Worth a shot. I mean, people are living in total hovel shitholes and stuff, man. And they're fucking fine. You might get some fixer-upper and fix it up while I live there. Not have some inspector crawling up my ass, people trying to steal my then, fuck, why not? Live in a goddamn tool shed on a piece of dirt. It was all mine, you know. But it'd have to be somewhere that I could go out and make deliveries or whatever. Go out and make money to be able to pay the fucking bills off. Shit. Guess that's some big dreaming. Yeah, one day I could be one of those people that's like, you just gotta think positive, happy thoughts, and everything's great here. It's like a matter of perspective, like that's a big problem we have here in this world is that people can't see the forest through the trees. It's people with different perspectives can't see the perspectives of other people. I think I would be one that can. Because I've been in the dumps and had a lot of shitty years. Well, I'm just saying, a lot of people just had shit work out for them, one way or the other. They went to some basic job for a little while and everything just fell into place for them, and so now they think that that's just how the world works for everybody. And it's fucking not. The dude sitting in the high tower up in his castle looking down, to the forest below, can't see the village in the forest because he can't see that part of the forest through the trees. There's the analogy right there. Doesn't understand that perspective, doesn't know what it looks like from down there, doesn't know what things are like down there, really doesn't care neither. Person with a house and a bunch of fucking everything come together for him, sees a poor person or a homeless person on the sidewalk, they just think, get a job, bum. What's wrong with these lazy people? Everything was great for me. Mm-hmm. And fuck those people. Right? Oh, man. Well, I mean, I actually have more of an understanding. I don't even think a lot of the freaking people that have money or that have homes and stuff like that, uh, even even though they got it all together, they used debt and so on. So I really don't think that they understand how this system and how the monetary system and how things work. I've researched for a number of years now, and being from where I've been, I've got a fair idea, kind of how it works now. And I realized that, well, there's different levels, but from where I'm at and from where, people that don't have a lot are at, from there to about middle class, a lot of the difference is really is how much debt you've accrued and made yourself able to pay off. Basically, you it's a debt based system. Yeah, every dollar is debt. Everything you bought with dollars is debt. Basically, until you own things, and even when you own things, it's still debt because they expect you to pay and pay and pay forever. That's the way the system is set up. Property taxes, bills, never fucking ends. People go buy new cars and they get a loan or whatever. And they build debt up, and if they manage to pay it off, then they're building their credit score higher, which allows them to incur more debt, which allows them to then get a mortgage and buy a house. If they pay all that stuff off, in due time, then they build a higher credit score, which allows them a higher credit limit, so they can be able to take out loans and credit cards that they can use for emergencies and so on and so forth. And that's how they have all this shit. They're paper millionaire. They build themselves up until they're basically like paper millionaires. They've got a bunch of shit, but it's all just debt that they owe for the most part. And once things are paid off, well, then there's less debt that they owe. But if they don't manage to pay it off, then they lose all the money they invested in the debt. And they lose everything they gained from incurring the debt. And there's debt collectors after them. That's just yeah. No, I mean seriously, this is real shit here. Real shit. Like, some of the wealthiest people in the world don't own, like, basically don't own anything on paper. Like, they got all these loopholes and tricks that they use because they know if they have shit in their name directly and they own it, that they can't pass on any sort of generational wealth to future generations, because the government and all the other bloodsuckers will come out of the woodwork and tax the shit out of any, there's inheritance tax, property tax, this tax, that tax, blah, 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 and all these things. And, if they die, they try to pass it down to their kids. There's a bunch of, vultures that'll just come around and steal everything. So they have all these, like, that's why there's things like trusts, trust funds, and shell corporations, and overseas banks if they actually have excess money. Like, back in the day, it was, the Canary Islands and Swiss Deutsche Bank and stuff like that. And those are your, God, what's the term that guy used? pigeonhole. I don't remember what the term is, but that's places that people would hide their money. Or another way they do it is they'll buy property but use it as an accruing asset, like a rental property. They'll use like a loan, debt, to buy a property with numerous rooms, rent out every one individually. They'll pay off the mortgage and the loan that they got with the money they get from the renters. And then in time they own that. And then they'll roll over the mortgage to buy another property. Which they'll pay off with the money from the people that are renting the rental space. Now, see, I get it. I get what they're doing. Like, pretty much, like, I don't know exactly everything, but like, I've got probably a better idea than most who haven't done it, They keep themselves. My point is, these people that are like, seem to be like rich and shit, how they do that is they keep themselves perpetually in debt. And they teach their kids, if they pass stuff on to them, they teach their kids how to use the tricks to keep themselves perpetually in debt and to get other people to pay their debt off for them. So that's where things like rental property comes in. Apartments, motel, rental cars, equipment rental, tool rental. It's all mortgaged to the hilt. They pay off the debt with the money that they get from the people that are renting the shit, and then they take out another mortgage loan to buy more property, do the same thing again and again. That's how they do it. And whatever, any excess funds that they have, they hide it. Yeah. They hide it, or they invest it into physical assets that can become an investment asset, not a solid asset. They don't want, see, that isn't in the type of economy that exists now. People don't want hard assets. The billionaires don't have hard assets for the most part. They have rental shit. They have businesses, Yeah. They, if they buy a car, even they'll buy a car, play with it for a while, but they'll buy a car with a loan, right? Rather than paying the car off. And before the car is even paid off, they'll take it back into the fucking lot to refinance it, get something else, or whatever, or liquidate their fucking funds and invest it into something else and roll it over into another fucking form of debt. That's how they do the shit. See, that's my basic understanding of what of how these people that appear to be the richies everywhere, that's basically what they do, right? To avoid, all the taxes and fees that would fucking rob them blind, and and avoid rentals and stuff like that. They do that, and they end up like more wealthy with less actual liquid assets, or they invest in stocks like blue chip stocks that are pretty much a sure fucking thing, and they're not really making all that much money off of it. They're putting themselves in debt for, like, depending on how much they invest, it'll be 10, 20 years or more before they even see a return on their investment. But that debt that they have becomes considered as an asset, which increases their credit score, and eventually, one day, they'll see a return on their investment. That becomes income until they roll that over into some other debt that they get other people to pay off. Again, to avoid taxes. That's what they fucking do. To avoid rental and, yeah. You might be able to use a trick with a credit card to pay fucking rent or something, or like a loan to pay rent. I kind of just started figuring this out, like, I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I thought about it earlier, and the thought crossed my mind that you might be able to, like if your credit score is good enough, and there might be people doing this, you might be able to, I don't know, let's say you were eligible for, say, a $24,000 loan, and you're paying $1,000 a month rent or something. If you're, paying for the low end fucking, you know what I mean? That's the low end nowadays. Well, you might be able to set it up to where you can get a loan that would cover like 2 years of your bills, and set up a loan payment fucking plan that allows you to only have to pay $400 or $500 a month, so that you could take 4 years to pay off 2 years of your bills if you wanted to, and then have all that excess money stacking up in your account that you could put into other shit. That's what I'm just, thinking out loud here about. I'm just trying to gain. I've been trying to gain a basic understanding of like how this shit works, because it doesn't. It's not like you work hard, you earn money, you save up, and then you can buy stuff. It doesn't work that way. That's not. It works that way if you were in and that's one of the reasons shit's so expensive, is because they drive up all the prices in order to increase their own. They drive up the prices intentionally because it drives up the value of their assets, drives up their income, drives up their credit score, allowing them to increase their level of debt that they can incur, which allows them to roll over and do this trick more and more. And that's why so many poor people are screwed, because nobody teaches us these tricks, pretty much, right? I've just been trying to research this shit to figure it out, and I think I'm getting it. Am I getting it? Anyone that knows this shit? I think I'm kind of starting to figure it out a bit. So I guess that's how somebody can sell their house and buy another house without actually having the money to be able to pay for the other house is that in order to even buy a house, they have to be eligible for the mortgage. They take out a mortgage, which is a loan, and the bank handles the transfer and the sale, and works with the real estate agency on the sale of the other place. Well, they get you in on a mortgage to get you into the other house and let you move in, and that's how that fucking works, isn't it? And I think that's kind of how it really works now, and how it actually has worked for quite a while. But the people who are like the older generations, I don't even think. I think they just it just worked out for them, not necessarily because they knew this sort of shit, but because they lucked into just having this shit magically work out for them. Yeah. Because they actually had enough money. They had the extra money and everything. And they just like naturally were able to build up credit score very easily and make their payments on everything very easily. So they were naturally pretty quickly eligible for a mortgage very easily. And they had people fucking advertising the shit to them and stuff. Sending them fucking letters in the mail saying, you're eligible for this much in a loan. You're eligible for this credit card, And they just get this shit, And if they were prompt with their fucking payments and stuff, they'd up their scores. And they were making enough money to where they were able to pay their bills easily and have plenty of money left over to even fucking, accrue a savings. So then it was pretty easy for them to pay off a mortgage because their mortgage payment was pretty fucking low, I don't know. I might be crazy. I like to see if I could find an honest boomer to tell me how much their mortgage payment was on the fucking house that they bought for, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand back in the day. That's worth like $500,000 or $1 million now. Like, I'll bet they paid like $100 a month or some shit. $50 a month. Now they own a house and land, and for us, now it still would be a lot harder for us in our generation, right? Because the prices of homes and stuff is way higher. So even if we could get mortgage loan for initial payment, we'd have to pay off the initial mortgage loan. But that would only, depending on, you'd have to search the world over to find a place that you could buy with that amount of money. Either that, or you'd have to be paying some massive monthly payment toward the actual property on top of a mortgage payment. But the mortgage payment itself might not be so bad, depending on the amount that you're able to take out. You might be able to get that down. See, if you could get something you could afford straight up with a mortgage, you can find a diamond in the rough like that and actually be able to get in there. If you have the ability, might I suggest bribing the fucking inspector or getting a home inspection license yourself, if that's possible, depending on how difficult that is. And then be like, oh, I'm an inspector. Looks fine to me. Right? I don't know. I hired my own inspector. His name's Bob, and Bob says it's fine. Don't you, Bob? Uh-huh. ever see that Rodney Dangerfield movie, what, Back to School? Where he's talking in that economics class, explaining how business really works. And the guy's like, that might be how business works. You know? Well, in your world, but and that's not how business works where I come from. And Rodney Dangerfield says, oh yeah, where's that? Fantasyland? Yeah. Maybe you wouldn't even have to have the money. Maybe you could just say, "The inspector, you seem like a real nice guy. How much is it? How much of this mortgage payment am I gonna have to put in your pocket for this house to be fucking passed?" Something like that. I don't know. Be a little straightforward with it. Wine and dine them, maybe. Oh, you're the inspector. Yes, I'll meet you at this nice restaurant down the street. Right? Oh, yes, let's have lunch. This looks like a nice place to have lunch. Oh, it's on me. Everything's on me. Yes, you have an yeah. Kiss their ass, try to pay them off, Wine and dine them. Fuck, I don't know. That's probably I would guess that's probably pretty much how it works for people that are successful on it. I want Rodney Dangerfield's character in that shit to teach me an economics lesson. Right? Nah, I don't know. I've been watching some dudes. I've been listening to some dudes and like trying to get some tips from dudes that I follow some YouTube channels. Like the Wolf of Wall, the guy that's the actual Wolf of Wall Street is one of them, and there's like some other basically like, guys that got out of prison and stuff like that. Yeah. Con artists that got out of prison and taught people how to fucking raise their credit score and so on and so forth, Yeah. Because those are the guys that know what the fuck they're talking about, dude. They are. They know how shit really works, The dude at the college, like, living in his mom's basement while he fucking teaches you about economics or something, Those guys fucking rolled properties over and shit. I remember one of the dudes, this dude like got out of prison because he had been like buying up too many fucking properties and leveraging them too hard. He was sitting on like millions of dollars and shit that he'd scammed out of fucking doing this sort of shit. And he took it too far and got caught or whatever. And he gets out and he's figured out how to do it like more legit and everything. Whatever. But like within 6 months of being out of prison, he was like buying a house and starting a fucking business and all this shit. He got out of there with like nothing in his bank account, basically, or very little. He was building his credit score up in prison and shit over the internet and stuff. Like, yeah. I mean, we're not born knowing how to do this shit, man. This is, it's fucked up and conniving and like, but that's how shit really works, I think. I think that's pretty much how it works. It's a world of, investors is a nice way of putting it, I guess. Businessmen, like gangsters, crooks, pimps, stuff like that. Business investors. Right? I'm just like thinking stuff, just trying to figure it out, trying to figure it out how it really works, and so that maybe, hopefully, if I can figure it out enough, I can reach a point where I don't have to live in fucking suffering and misery and poverty for the rest of my life. I'm not in the greatest position right now, but it might not be as bad as I think it is. If I just start playing their fucking, just start, playing their games, man. I think that's what I got to do. I've already got, I already rolled over a CD loan that brought me up from zero to like, at one point it was like 650, and I think I'm still in like the low 600s or something. Mm-hmm. And I bought some tires on credit because I got approved for that once I had a credit score. So that'll help build my credit score more too once I pay those off and bring it back up. And if I was able to just not fuck it up with the credit card, then that could probably help me by having more lines of credit to raise it up higher faster and stuff, which could raise my credit limit, raise the higher amount that I could get a loan, and so on and so forth, as long as I have some sort of income. Now, the goal to be able to raise yourself up to where these fucking people are is to, I think you have to get some kind of a loan in the first place with, off the, sweat of your back and credit you built with that. And then use that loan to get something that you can get other people to pay for. To invest in something where the debt will be paid off by other people. Yeah, like a rental property or something, or, or a business that'll have, decent overhead. It's your profit margin, But again, a business is like, you still have to do shit unless you get other people to do it for you, I should still go grocery shopping. Who knows? Apocalypse could be now or anytime soon. Might as well have some better food. I turned on the Walmart Spark app and Uber Eats and have had them running simultaneously since 9:30 a.m. and now it's after 5:30 p.m. So Been running straight through for what, 8 hours now? And I made a whopping $32 between the two of them. Had 3 orders. Oh, yeah. Busy day there, huh? Hence the pawn shop. Oh my god. I'm so sick of this bullshit, man. This place is fucked up, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, like normally, right? I'm pretty sure that the stuff I've said is true. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much how it works. I don't understand it as well as a lot of other people do, I guess. I have a lot of experience with it, but I think that's pretty much how it works, right? Now you're born into the world. Parents don't teach you anything about this kind of shit. So, like, most people probably are in a situation where, like, they think that it works like, uh, you work really hard and you put in a bunch of hours and then you pay your bills. And if you work really hard and put in a lot of hours, then maybe you can start to build up a little bit of savings. And, maybe in like 20, 30, 50, 100 billion years, if you bust your ass every single day, maybe you could save up enough for a down payment, and then you can work into your fucking 500s, maybe 1,000. When you're 1,000 years old, you might have your home paid off and bought. Like, no, I don't think that's how it works, dude. I'm pretty sure I was right before. Like, but that's kind of how we're supposed to think it works, I think. I think that's basically the key to success in this world, basically, is learning how to roll over debt and get other people to pay for shit for you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's like say you own a rental property. Well, then you're making all this money on rent, and then, oh, now you've got it paid off. So like the initial thought on that would be, oh, now I've just got this income coming in and I could just sit back and chill. No. No. You take out a mortgage on that's even higher than the one before. And you buy more rental properties. And then you use other people's money to pay those off. And then you do the same thing again and again and again. And I'm pretty sure that's what they do. And that's why they are fucking, just sitting around fucking fat and rich, basically. Because they got their pockets full of other people's money. And borrowed money from the bank till the day they die. And if they teach their kids this shit, then their kids live high on the hog just the same. If they don't teach their kids this shit, well, then one day their kids inherit their debt and don't know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, they find all kinds of little fucking loopholes and shit that, like the rich people, like the people that are like generational wealth rich people, they got like the stuff I described. I think is like pretty basic bitch level, but like those people have all kinds of tricks up their sleeve. They got everything leveraged to the fucking hilt. It's all rollover debt. Mm. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes, man. Just kind of thinking about it, trying to think, how to get out of my situation. Hmm. 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 I don't know. I think like a huge portion of the society stays in a shitty situation like this forever, or ends up in a worse situation. Uh huh. It's fucked up. But I think it's all about debt. It's all about incurring debt using credit and loans in such a way where you have enough income to be able to pay that debt off completely, without having to spend too much of a percentage of your income on it. Because that's not even allowed, right? And better bet if it's an investment to roll over. What I would want would be to get a home. The smarter move, if I was to get a home, would be to get a home with enough rooms to rent out a room or rent out multiple rooms so that they pay off so that the renters pay off my mortgage and I own it outright. And then just move the fuck out and collect the fucking money from them as a source of income to raise my credit so I can buy more property. Like that's what the fucking smarter people do. That's what the people that figure this shit out fucking do, I think. I mean, I want to own a home so I can just grow a garden and have a place to live and be left the fuck alone. But I think what I'm describing is what these fuckers do that really seem to have their shit together. Yeah, I think so. Hmm. Well, alright then.